it is ironic. Okay, it is ironic that I have had to prepare notes for reasons, but it is what it is, and I'm gonna make sure that I stick to this. I'm just gonna start this by saying these are all of my own opinions. I know that disclosure doesn't mean much of anything, but these are my opinions. I'm gonna be talking a lot about my feelings and how, you know, when you write your notes, make sure you can read your notes. I'm gonna talk a lot about my feelings. You may have some questions, and normally I would love to answer all your questions. You know that these streams are dialogue. This is where we go back and forth, we talk, we debate, all the rest of that. I live for the feedback and the riffing with you, but unfortunately in these circumstances, I won't be able to answer a lot of questions, mostly because I don't have answers myself at all. So, as many of you know, if you've been here for quite some time, you know that I happen to work in tech. And if you've been paying attention to the news for the past couple of months, it's been pretty tough to work in tech. There have been a lot of recent tech layoffs happening essentially industry-wide across all sorts of companies. And as of last week, the company that I happen to work for right now did decide to move forward and have some layoffs. And it sounds as though about 6% of the company I work at has been laid off. Now, as this has been happening industry-wide, I've been really worried. My tech lead's been really worried. I'm not speaking for him, I'm only speaking for myself. We've been worried. We've been talking to a lot of folks, but leads had been, for the past many, many months, had been reassuring to say, it's not in our DNA, it's not in our values, it's not going to happen at this company. And unfortunately, it did happen. So I'm coming to you here to say layoffs have happened at my company, and my fate has not yet been decided. And so that's why I can't say much at all, because I don't know what is currently happening to me and my level of employment at my company, and I don't have a time frame for when I might know what happens to me. Renee has, as Renee put it, I am Schrodinger's Barb right now. You don't want to look too closely into that box, because if you do, that cat is both alive and not alive right now. I do not currently know my own fate, and so I just gotta, yeah. Now, there were a lot of people who were affected by this. I spent most of the weekend reading people's accounts, their stories, what happened to them as individuals. There's a lot that's been posted on LinkedIn. There's a lot that's been posted on TikTok. Those are not my stories. They are not my stories to share. If you're interested, you can go search them out. The only thing I can talk about is me and how I'm feeling. Okay? These are my feelings. I'm feeling a lot of things right now. We don't talk a lot about feelings on this channel. We don't. we don't at all. We often joke to say, I am a robot. I am a barbot. I have no feelings. We have a barbot in here. But I've been feeling a lot. And there was a pretty major event that happened at work to me back in 2018. And I am feeling a lot of the same feelings as the aftermath of that event. This has been like my body is going through it all right now. I'm feeling a lot of shock. I'm feeling a little shock. Everything just feels surreal right now. The announcement, the realization, the actualities of, you know, trying to talk to people and then you're just like, oh, we no longer work together anymore. The shock around, hey, we were told this is not in the values of this company and this is not going to happen, and then it did. So it definitely came as a blindside. Moved moved on into, after that, a lot of confusion. Absolutely just a lot of confusion. I am an engineer by training. I like to look for patterns. I like to solve. I like to understand what the problems are and move forward. The understanding being the key point of it and a key part of that. And there's just not a lot of clarity and there's not a lot of understanding right now. Also just very much confused in terms of understanding what next steps are. So I don't know what's happening for me. And as somebody who is, a person of action, a person who wants to be doing more and solving more, I don't know if I should be updating a resume. I don't know if I should be job hunting. I don't know if I need to be moving because I can no longer afford to stay where I'm currently living. So I've kicked off work streams with my financial planner to start planning for the worst and start figuring all of these things out. And there's a lot of uncertainty for me in particular right now, but then a lot of uncertainty I'm sure for the people who were affected and the people who were affected in terms of what had happened to them, but then also the other folks who are still here and do know their fates. It's just a lot of confusion. Then I moved on into anger. I very, very upset this weekend. I was angry on behalf of all the people who I really enjoyed working with, who just all of a sudden, it was very much very sudden, very abrupt, very quick, all of a sudden, no longer working with them. And just, it felt, from many perspectives, felt unfair, angry at my situation and just feeling as though I am in limbo and being unable to do anything whatsoever to fix it, and no timeline around clarity for what to do. Anger at, being told I need to get out of my funk. I need to keep my head down. I need to get back to work. I need to show that what I'm doing and the role that I have is still really impactful. The work I'm doing is really important. I'm competent at doing that. And to not go and give folks a reason to change minds or not. And I'm still very much in this mourning process of trying to sort out what is going on, and yet I'm told get back into it. There's a job to be done, and we gotta go get those things done. Angry, as I mentioned, angry on the behalf of people I really enjoyed working with. These are people I care deeply about. These are people who I would talk to on a regular daily basis. These are people I've traveled around the world with, and then all of a sudden, super quickly, no more. Also feeling a lot of sadness. I am definitely feeling a lot of mourning. The whole point about, not in my company's DNA, not, strongly held values. Do I work at a company right now that my values are aligned with? Sadness at not being able to chat with the people who I am normally talking to and working on all of these really tough problems with. Sad at the fact that many things, it's never going to be the same, right? You can never go back to what you had and what it was. You can only move forwards, and the stuff that we've done, a lot is going to change as we move forward. I'm also feeling a lot lost right now myself. The pandemic time, it was a time that made a lot of us kind of take a step back and reassess. Are we enjoying spending how we spend our time? Are we enjoying how we are investing our time? I definitely spent a lot of time working through all of this. This was part of my move, part of the reason why I moved from California back up to Canada, is to try to live more aligned with my values. I also looked at my job, because my job is how I spend a ton of my time, and really critically to see, like, hey, is this still how I want to invest a lot of my productivity? I did talk to all sorts of folks, both internally at my company and then externally. I had several great offers that I have considered over the past couple of years, but ultimately I did come to a decision around, I really wanted to stay. I absolutely felt as though my company matched my values. I really enjoyed the people. I really enjoyed the projects. I really enjoyed the work. Really passionate about the space, and I really care. Like, just really care. And that's something that I constantly get performance feedback on, is I need to stop caring so much. And I'm like a bleeding heart at work, even though it seems like I have no emotions. I care so much about what it is that we are trying to do at my company. And, for all of these reasons, I ultimately decided, like, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to spend my time. Work is really important to me. My career is really important. Being able to do the things that I get to do and help people in the ways that I get to help them in the ways that I can now is really important to me. And I had other options and ultimately decided this is where I want to be spending my time. And so now I'm just feeling very lost in terms of, if this has to change, if I have to go back and do all of this soul searching again, like, where do I want to be spending my time? I just did all this work. This is where I want to be. So I'm feeling lost about that. And so that's how I've been feeling. As I mentioned, there's lots of stories that are out there. People are being impacted in so many different ways right now. So if you're interested in those perspectives, go and find them. They're available. They're on Twitter, I assume. Do people still use Twitter? They're definitely on TikTok. They're definitely on LinkedIn. This is just a bit of how I've been feeling. And yeah, I am in a funk, feeling all these things, working through it, talking to folks. In the meantime, I've been really lucky that my sister came to visit this weekend, so she helped to watch Poe while I moped around a lot, trying to look for meaning and work through this. And then I just need to get over it. There is no meaning. We just need to move forwards. Saturday night, I went and hung out with my friends. Left Poe with my sister in my apartment. I was like, I'm going. Went and hung out with my friends, and some of this group does happen to work at the same company, and so it was a big commiseration, understand, lots of hugging fest as we just got together. So we're gonna move on from here. We're gonna see where things go. I don't know. I really, truly, I honestly do not know what is gonna happen to me. I can't speculate in any way at all. Because like I said, there's been a lot of surprises. So when and if I hear back more, we might share it here. We'll see. So thanks for listening.